everybody. Welcome back to the channel. So, today I wanted to take you through one of the sample scenarios that came with Man-to-Man back in 1985. And one of the sample scenarios was what's called an introductory battle, where you're just playing on a blank battle map. But what I want to show you today is a scenario called gate defense. And so a bunch of rebels have basically broken into a keep, and they are trying to get into a treasury. And so what you have here are some rebels that are positioned at various corridors, and then you have three guards who are kind of holding this area to prevent them from getting further into the keep and the treasury. One of the options in this scenario was to have a horn represented by this golden H up here, where, if one of the guards can get to it and blow it, then the rebels basically have 20 seconds to try to defeat the guards and be able to get what they want before additional guards start showing up. 20 seconds, that doesn't seem like a long time to grab much of anything. But anyway, that's how it was written back in 1985. So I've put a golden H up there to represent an alarm horn. So let's take a look at our rebels, shall we? And see what they're made of. So the rebels vary in armor and equipment, but let's just take a look at Rebel 2 here, who's got a basic strength of 12, dex 11, IQ 10, health of 12, hit points of 10, fatigue points of 12, has a basic speed of 7.125, and is not encumbered and has a move and dodge of 7. I don't think any of them have any special advantages of any kind. Abilities-wise, the running skill, the spear skill, and the thrown weapon spear skill that they can, yes, hurl or use as a melee weapon. But if they use it as a melee weapon, basically there's a sort of a one-handed mode here for 1d impaling damage, and there's a two-handed mode here for 1d plus 1 impaling damage. Ranged-wise, if they wanted to throw that spear, they've got a fairly good level of 13 with it. And the spear in Man-to-Man has a, let's see, point-blank range of 4 yards. So at 4 yards or less, they'll get a +4 to their attack roll, and the range increments are 5 yards. And I'm instantly suspecting that 5 yards bit there. I may have to go back and just double check my my stats on this. Inventory-wise, he's got, or the rebel's got, lower class clothing, a javelin, and a spear. And that's all that Rebel 2 has. Now, I just checked the range increments on the spear, and indeed it is 5 yards. So every 5 yards that Rebel 2 throws that spear will be a -1 to their skill level to throw it. Okay, let's take a look at Rebel number 3. So Rebel number 3 has strength of 10, dex 13, IQ 10, health of 10, hit points of 10, and fatigue points of 10. Basic speed 5.75, currently not encumbered, and has a move and dodge of 5. No advantages, abilities-wise, has a bow at level 14, knife 13, and spear of 12. They have a large knife for melee combat, which does 1d -2 cutting or 1d -2 impaling, but they are carrying longbows that do 1d impaling with a level 14. The longbow has a point-blank range of 5 yards or less. The range increments are basically whatever your bow strength is. So in this case, it would be increments of 10 yards based off of his strength of 10 or her strength of 10. Inventory-wise, they have 10 arrows. They've got a whole bunch of cloth armor on them, along with the longbow, quiver, and some shoes, and their knife. So if we go back to the combat tab and look at the defenses tab, here you can see the partial armor listed for all that armor. So they don't have much armor and damage resistance whatsoever. Okay, that's level number 3. What about rebel number 1? So rebel 1 has strength of 10, dex of 14, IQ 10, health of 8. Ooh. So not terribly healthy. So 8 hit points and 10 fatigue points. These rebel 1 is lightly encumbered, so has a move and dodge of 4. And again, shouldn't have any advantages. Abilities-wise, they have axe mace at 15, so they're very good with an axe mace, very good with a shield and a knife. Their damage with the knife, with the axe, is 1d plus 2 cutting. And if they're using their large knife, it's 1d minus 2 cut or 1d minus 2 impaling. For ranged weapons, they've got a basic level of 10. I think that gives them like a 50% chance of hitting anything with that large knife. I don't think I ever actually looked at the large knife for its point blank range, but it's 2 yards and its range increments are 1 yard. Defense-wise, lots of leather armor on the arms, the legs, a leather jacket, a leather helm, and a medium shield. Okay, and inventory, well, here it is listed for you. So again, with all of them, I did actually put a listing in for like the full suit of armor, but I prefer that partial armor system myself. Rebel number 6. Oh yes, and so once again, what I did was these are not their speeds, these are their move values, because that's how man-to-man determines who goes first. Okay, rebel number 6 has a strength of 10, a dex of 14, IQ of 10, and again, not terribly healthy at 8. So 8 hit points, 10 fatigue points, lightly encumbered with a move and dodge of 4. Shouldn't have any special advantages, nope. Abilities-wise, axe mace at 15, knife 16, and shield 15. I see what happened here. I had to actually duplicate a couple of the rebels. That's why we're seeing this duplication. So I think the game only came with like 4 rebels, 4 sample rebels. Yeah. So I had to add a few. So we've already seen this person. They're just a repeat of the rebel we saw before. Okay. What about the guards? Yeah, so we've gone and seen all the rebels, I believe. Maybe not. Let's go and take a look at Rebel 4. Any differences here? Rebel 4, Strength 13, Dex 10, IQ 10, and Health of 10. 10 hit points and 13 fatigue points, slightly encumbered for a move and dodge of 4. Abilities-wise, oh yeah, okay. So this is slightly different. They've got axe, mace, knife, and shield. Aren't terribly good at any of that, except for, well, axe mace is 12. They've got maces, which, I wonder if the maces have to be ready after every swing. It just says the weapon becomes unready if used to parry. Okay. No, there it is. 1 turn to ready after a swing. So, same as the axe. But 2 plus 2, 2d plus 2 crushing is not too shabby. What about defense-wise? Okay, so they've got cloth armor, but they have large shields. Okay. All right, so Rebel 4s have large shields and maces, but they're lightly armored. Okay. Rebel 5. Are these a repeat of someone? I'm just going to go to their inventory. That'll tell me. Yeah, so here we have, again, I think a repeat of like number 4, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. Okay. So those are the rebels. Let's take a look at the guards. There's only 3 of them. So guard number 1 has strength 11, Dex 13, IQ 10, Health 11, 11 hit points, 11 fatigue points, is medium encumbered with a move and dodge of 4. No advantages. Abilities-wise, they have broadswords, knives, and shields for skills. For the melee combat, their broadsword does 1d plus 2 cutting, and they have a blunt tip on their broadsword, so it does 1d crushing. Their large knives do 1d minus 1 cutting or 1d minus 1 impaling. They can throw their knives, but not very well at level 9. Defense-wise, they have pot helm, they have scale mail on their torso, which means their arms and legs are bare, and they have a medium shield. All right, so that's guard 1. Let's look at guard number 3, because he's the next in line here. Strength 13, Dex 11, IQ 10, and health of 9, so 9 hit points, 13 fatigue points, medium encumbered for a move and dodge of 4, no advantages. This one is got skills and knife, pole arm of 14 both, running of 8, and thrown weapon knife of 14. Combat-wise, they are carrying a halberd. So the halberd does some significant damage there, 2d plus 4 cutting. Their knives do 1d plus 2 cutting or 1d impaling. They can throw their knives, but fairly good level. Level 14 for 1d impaling. Defense-wise, they've got scale mail and a pot helm. Okay, so they're kind of like mini Willem the Vials. Okay, and that leads us to guard number 2, who is the last, so who should be fairly well armored. But let's take a look. Strength of 12, Dex 13, IQ 10, health of 9, hit points 9, fatigue points of 12. Medium encumbered for a move of 3 and a dodge of 3. 1 level of toughness. Okay. Has axe mace 14, knife 14, shield 15. That's pretty solid. The axe does 1d plus 4 cutting. Their knives do 1d cutting and 1d minus 1 impaling. It's pretty good. Range, they can throw their knives not so well for 1d minus 1 impaling. Defense-wise, they've got a pot helm, scale mail on their bodies, and a medium shield. Okay. And again, there's their inventory. So on the map, you can see where I've set them up in the dungeon with some lighting. And, who sees who? Well, Rebel 2 here. Rebel 2 can see Guard 1, Guard 2, I guess, and Guard 3. I think. Oh, no. Can see Guard 2 and Guard 1. Rebel 3 can see Guard 1, Guard 2. I'm just going to rotate these so they're facing proper. Okay, so if we look at our turn order, it's Rebel 2 is going to go first. So I'm just going to move the map over a little bit here. If we take a look at Rebel number 2, he's armed with a javelin and a spear, and they can throw them. So we're going to just put in here 1 javelin and 1 spear to represent that. So Rebel 2 can see Guard 1 and Guard 2. So I think what Rebel 2 is going to do is take aim on Guard number 1. So I'm going to target Guard number 1. There we go. Okay. Rebel number 3, armed with a longbow. So we'll go over to ranged. Yep. So equally, we'll take aim at Guard 2. And we'll target Guard 2. So there we go. Rebel 1 is down here. Rebel 1 is armed with an axe and has leather armor, and a shield. Okay, so he's got a move, or she's got a move of 4. So she's going to go 1, 2, 3, and kind of just come up to the corner here. And the next is Rebel 6, who I believe is similarly equipped, but we'll just double check. So leather all over the place. Yeah, axe, medium shield. So as a move of 4. So it's going to go 1, 2, 3. And I think that's as far as they're going to go. All right. Who's next? Guard 1. So Guard 1 has the scale mail, the shield, and the broadsword. Okay. So Guard 1 is going to take an all-out defense at this point because they know they're going to get fired upon. So all-out defense to this guard. And Guard 3 has the halberd. So Guard 3 is going to take all-out defense as well. And that brings us to Rebel 4, who is up here. Now, Rebel 4 looks down the hallway and can see their comrades approaching up the hallway. So Rebel 4 should be with shield and mace, I think, but with cloth armor. So they have a move of 4. So they're going to go 1, 2, 3, and 4, kind of up underneath this torch. And that leaves Rebel 5, who's going to do the same. It's going to go 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4 up to under this light here. Okay. And who's left? Guard 2. Guard 2 cannot really hit this person because they are, well, let's see. Technically, they're just not fully in this hex. They're kind of here. I think I'm going to give this guard the opportunity to hit this rebel or try. What we're going to say is that this rebel's body is partially exposed or hidden by this wall here. So what would be the penalty to attack a sort of partially exposed person? Well, here's, just like in 4th edition, this partial exposure only really matters when you're firing a ranged weapon. But what about the lighting? In man-to-man, bad light gives an automatic -5, and then it says depending on the scenario. I mean, if we click on this guard, and this person's kind of in a bit of a shadowy state here, not being fully exposed by the light of this torch, I think we should give a -1 at least to this attack on the rebel. And this person is going to try to hit their, let's say, if they're kind of up against this wall here, I'm going to say that he, and I realize my hexes aren't that clear. Just give me a moment. Okay, that's better. So I think he's going to try to actually hit the rebel's weapon. Why not? So what is this rule about hitting somebody's weapon? Well, certainly, rebel number 1 is within range, striking range of guard 2. Guard 2 has a axe with a reach of 1. So he can definitely hit Rebel 1's mace, which I believe is what Rebel 1 is armed with. Armed with an axe as well. So, a little axe on axe action, hey? Okay, so it's going to be a -4 to attack this axe. So I don't know that I put these mods in here, but let's just see. Maybe I did. The target is a weapon. Ooh, look at that. Nosh, good job. So we'll put the target modifier in there. I also said we'd put a little -1 in there for lighting. So let's bump that to -5. And let's see if guard 2 can actually strike that axe itself. And failed by 6. So completely missed the axe. But I am going to drop a step and attack into this fella so I can remember that that's what he did. Okay, and this brings us to Rebel 2, who's been aiming for 1 turn. So in man-to-man, because that aim has taken place, this Rebel can now throw the javelin at its basic javelin skill. However, 6 yards away from the target. So the range increments are, I believe, 5 for the javelin, but let's just take a look at that again. I could be wrong. So for the javelin, your range increments are 4 yards. But point blank is 3 yards. Okay, so for 4 yards, that's 6. So that would be 2 range increments because he's well beyond the 4 for the first range increment. Just going to double check that again. Range increments are 4 yards. Yeah. So let's see here. Yeah, sort of 1, 2, 3, 4. That would be the first increment. And then the next increment would be over here. So it's going to be another way they say to do it is to take the range to the target and divide it by the increments and round down. That's another way to do it. I see. So if your target is less than, say, 4 increments away, you round down to 3. So this target is less than 2 increments away. So you go down to just down to that first increment. Because if he was at 8, that would be 2 full increments. So my correction, basically, this would be at -1 to hurl the javelin at this guard. So to hurl or not to hurl? That is the question. Rebel 2 will be at a 12 to hit. Well, that 12 seems rather reasonable to me. Is there a particular body part, perhaps, to hit on guard number 1? That's another question to ask. Because the arms and legs are unarmored. What about the lighting? That maybe is another question. If we click back on Rebel, it's a bit of shadowy in here, if you ask me. I'd throw another -1 on top of that. So the range increment is -2, -1 for lighting. That takes us down to -3. I think Rebel 2, what the heck? Rebel 2 is going to go for it. So that's a -3. -2, -1 for the increment, -1 for the lighting. Let's see if he just hits the guard in the chest. We won't worry about legs or anything like that. And success by 5. Okay, guard number 1. What you going to do? So you've got a medium shield. You've got a dodge of 4, and you can't parry a javelin, as far as I know. Let me double check that. So yes, you can only parry another hand weapon attack. So it's going to be a block. So we'll add the PD of 3 for the medium shield. We'll add the PD of 3 for the scale mail on the body. Let's see if guard 1 blocks this. Success by 0. So the javelin point hits the shield and glances off harmlessly. All right, so I'm going to take the aim off this rebel and the target as well. Now Rebel 3 has a longbow and was aiming at guard 2 for 1 turn. And let's just take a look at the point blank range for the bow. That is 5 yards. Well, this person's 6 yards away, this target, and so that would take us to the first range increment, which would be, again, a -1 to this rebel's attack. So, -1 would be, would take it down to 13, -1 for the lighting, so we'd look at a 12 or less. Well, let's do that. 12 or less to hit this guard in the chest. And that is a success. Maximum 1 hit, success by 3. Okay, so this guard can try to block. So we'll go down to the defenses tab, add the +3 for the medium shield, add the +3 for the scale mail. Let's see if they block the arrow. And they do. Success by 6. Okay, so I'm going to take the aim off of the archer here and the target as well. Which brings us to rebel number 1, who now can try to attack this guard. So we'll come around that corner, change the facing, and hammer this guard. So just go in for the body at this point. And success by 1. So this guard now can't parry because with his axe he tried to hit this rebel's axe. Can't block because he basically just blocked the arrow shot. So all he can do is dodge, but he still gets the PD from his shield and from his skill. Let's see if he dodges. Fails by 1. Okay. Okay, do your damage, Rebel 1. That's 7 points of damage. So when you consider the DR for this guard, because I believe this guard has the toughness, yeah, that's a DR of 5 on the body. So 3 points of injury get through. That's not going to be enough for a major wound, and there is no shock in man-to-man. I think I'll take the, no, that's fine. Okay, so 3 points of damage, but really no other effect. Rebel 6. Okay, so Rebel 6 is going to go 1, 2, and is going to try to attack guard 1 next turn because there's no move and attack in man-to-man. Guard number 1. I don't know why I have all out attack on there. I think that's an error. So this is a new turn. So guard 1 is going to, a new turn for guard 1. So guard 1 will attack this rebel with the broadsword. So now I don't think there's any modifier for a medium shield to the best of my knowledge, but I'll double check. So no, there's no modifier or penalty for using a medium shield. Rebel 6, what are they using for shields? Medium shields as well. Okay. All right, so guard 1 will take his his broadsword and try to cleave at rebel 6. And success by 6. So rebel 6 will be able to add the PD from the shield as well as from the leather jacket, and can try to block this. But to parry, that's an axe, so no, doesn't want to parry. We'll try to block. And success by 0. So again, the broadsword just bangs off the shield. Who's next? Guard 3. Okay, so guard 3 had taken last turn an all-out defense, so we're going to remove that. So in this new turn, guard 3 is going to try to hit rebel 6 with the halberd. So we'll say that because it's convenient and I forgot to even think about it, we'll say that the halberd currently is in the 2-yard reach for this particular setup. So he is simply going to bring that halberd down on rebel 6. There's no modifier because to bring that halberd down between 2 allies, there's no modifier to that attack. So that's a possible successful hit. And rebel 6 had blocked. Rebel 6 could try to parry with the axe, but I think is going to try to dodge this. So the shield gives a bonus. Leather jacket gives a bonus. Let's see if they dodge. Fail by 3. What if I had argued that they should have done... Oh, hang on a second. I forgot to put a lighting into that attack. Doesn't matter. Succeeded by 5. Well, what if I had said this person steps back as part of a dodge and retreat? Then they would have made the dodge. My bad for not thinking about that. Let's see what the damage. Okay. 2d plus 4 cutting. So that's going to be 10 points of damage. Rebel 6 has a DR of 2 because they're so lightly armored. So that's going to be a major wound. So we're going to apply that instantly. Oh, and they're very, very unhealthy. So guess what? Rebel 6 is going to be going down instantly. So that is the end of Rebel 6 because in man-to-man, once you hit your negative hit points, you automatically fall unconscious. So a grievous attack by guard number 3. Let me throw a body down there. So there is our first casualty of the fight. Rebel is down. Okay. Rebel 4. Rebel 4 is up here. So Rebel 4 just sees one of their own go down. Armed with a mace. Has a shield. Has a move of 4. It's going to go 1, 2, and go right up into here to try to hit guard 1 next turn. And Rebel 5 goes, yeah, you bugger. It's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, basically uses its move to go into this hex and press the attack. So guard 2 had attacked on its last turn with its axe, so it has to take a ready maneuver to re-ready that axe. So we'll drop that down. Okay. And Rebel number 2. Well, you tossed your javelin. Now you're going to take a ready maneuver to get your axe, or your spear ready. And I think you're going to do that with a a 2-yard reach because your axe should have that as a range. Let's see here. That's ranged combat. Yeah, there. So we'll use the bottom line thrusting entry for a reach of 2. Okay. Rebel 3 had shot. So Rebel 3 is going to this turn start to reload. So we'll drop a step and ready. And this rebel does not have fast draw as a skill, I don't believe. No. So it's going to take 2 full turns for the rebel to re-ready. Re-ready. Keep saying that. To draw an arrow and knock it. Rebel 1. So Rebel 1 had attacked last turn with its axe. So this is going to have to be a turn of readying. Okay. And Guard 1 had, I believe, made an attempt to attack last turn. Yes, but has a broadsword, so does not have to re-ready a broadsword. So is going to attack Rebel 4, who just appeared around the corner, with a slash. And succeeds by 1. So Rebel 4 will have to make a choice here. Rebel 4 has a large shield. So its parry will be reduced by 1. Oh, that's right. Okay, so all right, well, what to do? Parry will be reduced by 1, but then it can't attack with the mace. Block is terrible. I mean, that's a really terrible skill. Why is that so low? Shield of 10. Interesting. But that's because the block in man-to-man is a third of your skill, not a half of your skill. That's why. I just had to quickly correct some stats there. So his block is 3, or her block is 3, not 2. And so we are going to, have her try to dodge this attack. And this time, a dodge and retreat. So we'll give a +3 for the dodge and retreat. We're going to give the +4 for the shield and the +1 passive defense for the cloth armor. Let's see if she can dodge the attack. And success by 1. Okay, good job, Rebel 4. So Guard 3 had attacked last turn and now has to take 2 turns to re-ready. Re-ready. That's so ingrained in me. 2 turns to ready the halberd again. All right, Rebel 4, you narrowly escaped getting hit, but you are ready to attack. And so you step and attack Guard 1. You can, of course, now attack, if you want to attack a exposed body part like unarmored, like a leg or a sword arm. So I think that's what she's going to do. She's going to attack the sword arm. And so the target will be not the weapon, but the weapon arm. Okay. And we're going to give a, you know what I didn't do? I did not really give a -1 to that guard's attack, so he still would have made it by 0, even with a -1 for the lighting. Okay, so anyway, back to Rebel 4. So a -3 in total. And she is going to hit with her mace. Oh, hang on. There's also the penalty for the shield. Hello. So I've got to throw that in there. So it's going to be a -5. Ooh. Okay. To heck with hitting the arm. This will just be against the body. Was that a critical fail? Was that what happened? It was, of course. Our first critical fail of the combat. Okay, so we go over to the critical miss table. Shake and bake, rebel scum. Oh, your weapon flies from your hand. 50% chance straight forward or straight back. Roll 1 die to see how many yards it flies. Okay, so here we go. So first of all, 1 to 3, it flies forward. 4 to 6, it flies straight backwards. It goes right backwards. Okay, so how many yards? We roll 1 die to see how many yards it flies backwards straight. 6. Cool. So straight backwards. It's going to hit the wall. Boring. Okay, so guess what? We have a mace that. So she swings her arm back to go for this blow, and the mace just flies from her hand and hits the wall back here somewhere. That's awesome. I guess I will change the step and attack to a dropped weapon. How's that? Okay, awesome sauce. Okay, so dropped weapon for Rebel 4. Oh my, how the dice play with our lives. Rebel 5. So Rebel 5, you had just stepped into range as well last turn. So you can try to hit with your mace. And I'll have to put in the mods for your shield as well here, because it's going to interfere. So we put in that large shield penalty. We add a -1 for the lighting. And let's see if she can hit the guard. Success by 4. Okay. So this guard, let's see. I want to believe that this guard had tried to defend from this attack by the rebel. But this is also a new round for this guard. I believe. Guard 2, let's just go back up. Yeah, so guard 2 had taken a step and ready last turn. On his last turn. So, and he wasn't attacked because this rebel 1 had to ready. Yep. Okay, so this this guard can take an active defense. So guard 2 will add the shield. We'll add the passive defense for scaled torso armor. And can do a block. And success by 1. Okay. And guard 2 had readied the axe last turn. So we'll take that off and is now free to do a step and attack. Okay, so might as well go and attack the Rebel 5 had just stepped in. Or maybe attack Rebel 1. We'll go for Rebel 1. Why not? So we'll put a -1 on for the lighting. And that is a potential hit. So Rebel 1 is going to have to add the passive defense to the shield, its armor, and it will try to block. Yes. And success by 1. Okay. So I'll take that. Yeah, we'll leave that step and attack in place. So we're now on to the 4th turn, or more accurately, Rebel 2 starts the 4th second of combat. And you remember, readied the spear in a 2-yard reach. So for this turn, is going to do a move. And yes, there we go. So it's going to move into combat. So it's going to go, it's a move of 7, good heavens. So it's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, and should be able to reach guard 1 between the allies. Rebel 3 continues to ready another arrow. Rebel 1 can now attack with the axe or mace. So we will put a step and attack on to them. Let's see how they do. So they're attacking guard 2, who had to block last turn and will not be able to block again. So here we go. We'll throw a -1 for the lighting. But here we go with the axe swing. You know what? Let's just add another 2 for a attack on the weapon arm. Let's try and disarm this guy by chopping through his arm. There we go. Failed by 2. Oh, that's too bad. Okay, so we'll go to guard 1, who has a broadsword, and is going to attack this Rebel 4. So we'll put a -1 for lighting. All right, let's see if he can get a blow in on Rebel 4. And fails by 1. All right. Guard 3 continues to re-ready. Re-ready. Good Lord. That is so ingrained. Continues to ready the halberd. Rebel 4 has dropped the weapon. Rebel 4 goes 1, 2, 3, 4 to try to find that weapon. Rebel 5. Okay, so Rebel 5 had attacked last turn, and Rebel 5 is using a mace. So Rebel 5 will have to ready this turn. Guard 2 had attacked last turn, and so is going to have to ready the axe. All right. And Rebel 2. So we're now starting the 5th round or turns of combat here. So on his 5th second, Rebel 2 decides to attack guard 1. So we'll take that move off, and we're going to drop a step and attack. Doesn't have to step to make the attack, of course. So I think I dropped that on the wrong dude. Try again. Come on now. Step and attack. There we go. Okay, so this is going to be on guard 1. So Rebel 2, we're going to give you a -1 for the lighting, and you're just going to go over a body attack at this point, or do you want to attack like the arm or the leg? Ooh, I kind of like the leg. Well, the leg's the same as the arm. I believe it's a -2 to attack the leg. Yeah. So here we go. Let's see if you can stab the leg. And you failed by 1. So, the head of that spear just narrowly misses the leg of that guard. What's the re-readying on these spears? It says here it can be used one-handed, two-handed, and thrown. The weapon must be ready for 1 turn to change from a long to a short grip and vice versa. But it's not saying anything about needing any extra turns to ready. Okay. So we are going to remove that. Rebel 3. Yes. This rebel now has an arrow nocked and ready to be fired. So this rebel is now going to aim at guard 2. So we'll drop the aim onto the archer. So Rebel 1 that's my question. Did they really step an attack, or did I just drop that in the wrong place? Did they try and step an attack last turn? Darn it all. Give me one moment. Yeah, they tried to attack the guard's weapon arm and failed. So this is going to be a ready of the axe. So here we go. Okay. And guard 1, who has a broadsword and does not need to re-ready anything. Okay, so guard 1 is going to try to attack Rebel 5's leg. So that'll be a -2 for the leg, on top of a -1 for the lighting. Can guard 1 hit the rebel's leg? Success by 0. Okay, so Rebel 5, go to your defenses column. You're going to have the +4 for your shield, and your legs have a +1 passive defense. Your block is 3, not 2, because I corrected this. And so, but your dodge is 4, so you could technically step back into this hex for another dodge and retreat. I think that's what the Rebel 5 is going to do, is step out of the hex where its body of its unconscious member is, and we'll do a +3. And let's see if they do a dodge. And success by 3. Okay. Guard 3 has completed readying that halberd. So, with a reach of 2, cannot hit these 2, but could take a step here into this hex to reach this rebel, who technically is right there. So I think what they're going to do is step and attack. So we'll throw that down, and they're going to step and bring that halberd straight down at rebel number 1. Okay, so guard 3, let's get you online. And it's -1 for the lighting. Do you hit? Possibly. Rebel 1, you have what? Your medium shield. And it was against your body. Yeah, you're going to try and block this? Or do you do a dodge and retreat? I think a dodge and retreat. So we're going to add another 3 for +7. So they're going to move back here. Let's see if they do it. Failed by 3. Okay. So, do your damage. 2d plus 4 cutting. Ouch. So, 11 points of cutting against Rebel 1. That's going to be a major wound. It's going to take them to negative hit points. So, they are out of the game. Let me get a body down. So that halberd just comes slashing down across their poorly armored torso and biting deeply into their chest. Ouch. Okay, there we can see the rebel lying on the ground, bleeding out. Let's jump to Rebel 4. Now, Rebel 4 got to where the weapon is. Rebel 4 will have to take a change of position or posture and go to kneeling. Rebel 5 had re-readied her weapon. So she is going to step here, and she can change her facing as she does so, and she's going to attack guard 2. So we'll take the step and ready out, replace it with a step and attack. Okay. How does she do? Let's see here. Rebel 5. Got that mace going. So the penalty from the large shield is not going to try to do anything more because there's a -1 for the lighting. Let's see if she hits guard 2. And success by 0. So guard 2 was doing a step and ready. And I have to now recall, was he attacked earlier? He was, but the rebel had missed him. So he can block this attack if he wishes. He could also do a retreat and dodge if he wished. So let's see here. He's got the medium shield, and it was against the body. He will just try to do an ordinary block. And he succeeds by 1. Okay. Which brings to guard number 2, who had just finished stepping and readying his axe. So he will do an attack, and he will attack this rebel. So he's at -1 for the lighting, and guard 2, will try to hit the rebel just on the torso. Nothing fancy. And success by 0. So Rebel 5 can do a block if she wishes. So gets the PD from the shield, has the armor for the torso, could do a dodge and retreat again. I'm not sure. I don't think you can do it more than once in one turn. Sorry, folks. I forgot to hit the record button. I had paused to check on something. Anyway, guard 2 did land a blow on Rebel 5. Rebel 5 failed to dodge the attack, and guard 2 did a whopping 10 points of damage against her poorly armored chest, and she has effectively been taken out of the battle. It's at -3, so that's an automatic unconsciousness. So I'll put another dead marker down. Well, the body count continues to grow. We got 3 rebels unconscious and bleeding on the floor, and we have 3 rebels still standing. We begin with rebel number 2 and their 6th second of combat. So they are going to attack guard 1. So again, this will be an attack to the chest, nothing fancy. With a 2-handed thrust. And that's a fail by 1. Just that terrible lighting, which is cutting them off a little bit in their ability to hit. Okay. Rebel 3 has aimed for 1 turn and is targeting guard 2, is going to continue to aim for a 2nd turn. Guard 1 is going to take a step and attack, and that'll be on rebel 2. So we're going to continue to have the -1 modifier, and it's just against the body. And that is a success by 3. Rebel 2 has what? Nothing? Just clothing. Okay. All right. So guess what? This is going to be could be a parry, but it's going to be a dodge. So there's absolutely no passive defense here. And did it. Okay. Good job, guard 1. Or sorry, good job, rebel 2. Okay. Guard 3 has to re-ready. Nosh. Has to ready that halberd. 2 turns. Okay, there we go. Rebel 4 grabs the sword and continues to change. I should really correct this to posture, but is going to go from kneeling to standing. Guard 2 has to ready. There, I did that correct. Ready the axe. So, there we go. And we're back up with Rebel 2. Boy, the turns are rolling over faster with people dropping like flies. Rebel 2 is going to step back, but still attack guard 1. So we'll put the -1 for the lighting. And this is, again, it's just an attack to the torso. And fails by 3. Okay. Rebel 3 now has been aiming for a turn and is going to fire. So when it's aimed now for 2 turns, the first aim allows the archer to just fire at its regular skill level. The second turn of aiming gives it a +1 to its attack. So here we go. What is the range to this guard? 6 yards. Forget that -3. That's a 4th edition setting. So we'll drop an attack indicator in there. So I believe that it's been aiming for 2 turns. The archer, and they're going to have a -1 for the lighting. And I believe that's that. Because as we found out before, the longbow, the increments are based on strength. The bow is equal to this person's strength. So yeah, that's within 1 increment, but beyond the point blank range for the longbow, which is 5 yards. Okay, so they're looking at a basically 0 modifier. Well, let's see if Rebel 3 can hit guard 2. and possible. So, guard 2, what have they done in terms of having to defend themselves? Because there's like 3 unconscious rebels in front of them. Well, just scrolling up the old chat window, I think guard 2 has every right to try to block this. So we throw in the PD for the shield, for the body armor, and let's see if a block can happen here. Failed by 1. Okay, well, kind of happy that happened because I kind of want to see what this rebel does for damage here. 1D impaling. Oh. I don't think anything's going to get through with a 3. Let's see. Nope. Yep. DR of 5 on guard 2. So nothing gets through. So that arrow slips past the shield, hits the scale, and snaps and falls to the ground. Okay. So that was Rebel 3. Let's carry on down the line. Guard 1, who is going to simply move and is simply going to step back into position. Guard 3 continues to re-ready, but at this point is going to do a step and ready back into position. Rebel 4 is now has the weapon in hand and can move. So goes 1, 2. Guard 2 has a ready axe and is going to step. Oh, I see what's going on here. Those pesky graphics are in the way. Okay, anyway, sorry. Guard 2 steps here and is going to attack Rebel 4. So we will change that into a step and attack. Okay, so I'll pull out the map a little bit further here so you can see the action. So this is going to be, again, just a swing attack, -1 for the lighting on this guard's torso. And that is a success by 1. So this rebel has a large shield, so gets the PD of 4 for that. The attack is on the torso. So this rebel will, do a dodge and retreat for an additional +5, or 3, sorry. Let's see if the rebel dodges the attack and succeeds by 1. All right. Rebel 2 decides to stab guard 2 from where he's standing. So that'll be a step and attack, or no step really, but just an attack. All right, so he can thrust -1 for the lighting right against the torso, and success by 0. Guard 2 can, let's see here, it's got the medium shield, the scale mail. It's going to try and block it. Why not? And success by 2. So the point of this spear just glances off the guard's shield. Ooh, wait a second. That guard, though, had... I think that guard... Did that guard not... Yeah, he tried to block. He tried to block that attack from the archer. And we have not gone into a new round. I don't think so. Oh, yes, we did. We did go into new round. However, oh, yeah, no. So, yep, the rebel is free to use another block because it was a new round, and it was a new turn for that particular guard as well, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, no, it's not. So the guard was still. Let's see here. The guard. Yeah. Okay, so no. This guard had blocked the arrow, but he has not yet taken. Give me one moment. I stand corrected. So this guard cannot block. He had blocked this arrow shot on him. And then he'd taken his step and attack, which was still part of his turn. And this person had stepped back. This person attacks him, and he cannot block again because he has not taken a new turn. So he is going to have to choose a different defense here. So he can't block. He can't parry. He's going to have to dodge. So let's redo this. He's got the shield PD bonus, the scale armor PD bonus, a dodge of 3. I'm not going to allow him to do a step back at this point. Let's just see if he can dodge this. And he fails by 3. All right. So Rebel 2. What damage do you do on this guard? Oh, 6 points of impaling. So 2 points of injury get through. And guard 2 has only 6 hit points left. So guard 2 is at 4 hit points. Okay, he's still in this fight. Wow, plucky guy. All right, sorry about that, folks. Gets a little confusing, and somebody had stepped into the room, and I had to have a conversation, so that got my train of thinking lost. Okay, let's start again here. Who's next? Who's next? Guard, Rebel 3. So Rebel 3, yes, had fired the arrow. That's right. So Rebel 3 is going to have to now start readying and getting a bow and arrow put together here. So this will be a ready maneuver for Rebel 3 again. We'll take out the target. Okay. Guard 1. Guard 1 is going to step and attack Rebel 4. So we'll give a -1 for the lighting, just on the torso. And that is a success by 3. Rebel 4 cannot do another dodge and retreat. So we'll have to, let's see, large shield, PD, torso hit for the cloth armor, PD of 1. This will have to be another dodge. But I think it's going to have to be a block, actually. Yeah, let's try block. Fail by 4. So let's go with the damage here. 1d plus 2 cutting. So that is going to be 6 points of cutting damage. It's going to be a major wound on Rebel 4. So we'll go over to Rebel 4, who has taken a major wound. So what that means is they're going to be at half move and dodge because their hit points are down to 3. They're going to have to make a health roll, or they're going to fall down and be stunned. And they made their health roll, so they don't fall down, but they will be stunned. So we're going to drop the stun effect on Rebel 4. Okay, so let's go to the next actor. Guard 3 has now a ready halberd with a reach of 2. So let's see, who can they attack here? There's guard 2 here, and there's guard 1 here. If they step here, they can't reach this rebel, and they could try to attack this rebel, but they'd have to be attacking like through this hex. So I don't think that's very wise. So with this ready halberd, this guard's going to move. The guard's going to move a 4. So 1, 2. Let's go 3, 4. Well, no. Let's go 1, 2, 3 because of the body and just the increased move cost to moving into a body with a hex with a body. That's as far as that guard's going to go. So I'm going to just put the move and say that's what that guard did, was choose a move maneuver. Okay, Rebel 4 is stunned, however, gets a chance to break the stun with a health check, and easily comes out of the stun. So that's done. So Rebel 4 has every right to now make an attack with the mace. So with a -1 for lighting, is going to try to hit guard 1. Success by 0. Now I forgot to put the shield penalty in there, so actually the rebel did not hit. So I'm going to put a step and attack just to remind myself that they did attack. Okay. All right. So that's a fail, not a success. Guard 2 had done a step and attack last turn, so needs to ready the axe. And Rebel 2 can stand there and attack guard 1. No problem. So we'll put a -1 for the lighting. Let's see if he stabs this guard. And success by 2. So this guard can use the shield, scale mail, pass a defense, and can actually try to parry this blow because it's a hand weapon attack, and that spear is not going to be 3 times the weight of that broadsword. So success by 4 with the parry. Rebel 3. So Rebel 3 continues to load an arrow. Guard 1 can attack Rebel 4 and will stand their ground, I think. So this will be at -1 for the lighting. Here we go. And that is a fail by 2. Okay. Guard 3 had moved last turn. Guard 3 is now going to do a step and attack. And that step and attack is going to be at the rebel here with the spear. So drop a step and attack onto guard 3. Guard 3 steps and will attack Rebel 2 with that 2-yard reach. So let's see if guard 3 can do it. We'll put a -1 for the lighting. Here we go. And that is a success by 6. Rebel 2, it's the first time Rebel 2's maybe even defended. So Rebel 2 has nothing. No, they have defended before with a dodge. So Rebel 2 is going to do a step back, get a +3 for the dodge and retreat. And fails. Ooh, this is going to be ugly. 2d +4 cutting against an unarmored target. Oh, 21 injury gets through to Rebel 2. So we're going to apply that instantly. That takes it to 11, -11. What is Rebel 2's health? It's -1 health points. So this is the first time that we've seen this happen with with this kind of a combat in man-to-man. So if your health goes fully negative, okay, you risk death. So let's take a look at these rules a bit closer. So once you reach minus your health hit points, you have to make a health roll against your basic health or you die. And then according to man, another roll is required for each further loss of 5 hit points. And if you cross 2 levels, you have to make 2 health rolls. So first of all, what we know is Rebel 2 is unconscious. That much we know. But is Rebel 2 dead? Okay, so we're just going to see if Rebel 2 is dead by making a health check. Rebel 2 succeeds by 0. So Rebel 2 will hang on to life, but Rebel 2 is unconscious because of that much damage. So that halberd just comes down and literally tears Rebel 2's chest in half. Very, very gory wound. Okay, so I've updated the map. So we've got Rebel 2's body here, and we've got some other rebels lying here. So these rebels chose the wrong guards to attack. Okay, let's go to rebel number 4. Rebel 4 has to ready their mace. So we will take the step and attack out. We will put a step and ready in. And I think indeed at this point they're going to step back and ready. Okay, who's next? We've got guard 2. So guard 2 had readied last turn. So they've got a ready axe, and they are going to go 1, 2, and they are going to do an all-out attack on Rebel 4. I think this is the first time we've done an all-out attack. Maybe not, but all-out attack. So in man-to-man, what does an all-out attack allow you to do? Well, if you have 2 ready weapons, you can make 2 attacks against the same foe, okay? Or you can make 2 attacks with a weapon that doesn't need to be readied after each use, but that's not what this guy's situation is. He could make a feint and then an attack, but I think he's going to just make a single attack at +4 to hit. But he won't have any active defenses after this. So guard 2 is going to make 1 attack at +4 for the all-out attack. So all-out single +4 minus the 1 for the lighting. And I think this is going to be, yeah, it's just going to be up against the body. That's a critical success. A roll of 5 and needed a 17. So we go to the critical hit table. Well done. Okay. What do you think he's going to roll? Normal damage only? I bet he will. Oh, if the blow was aimed at an arm, leg, hand, or foot, it does normal damage and that body part is crippled. Otherwise, double the normal damage. Ooh, okay, double it. Okay, so here we go. Doesn't get a defense roll because it's a critical hit. And he's going to be stunned automatically. So he did 6 points, but that's not true. He did 12 points. We're going to double that. So it's 16 because this guy is so lightly armored. He does 16 points of damage. Let's apply it and see what happens. So he's now at -13. So he too is going to have to make a roll against his health to stay alive. And he does, succeeds by 1. So he will be automatically unconscious. So we'll just get another body down there. Okay, look at the body count now down here. You got all these rebels' bodies lying here on the ground, and your guards are still up and good. And you got the rebel 3, who is, well, what can he do? So he does have a ready arrow now at this point. So he is simply going to shoot that arrow at guard 2. What the hell? Because this is going to be in his point blank range. So we'll simply put a step and attack in there, although he's not obviously stepping. He's going to fire at guard 2. It's well within his point blank range for his longbow, but we'll just double check that. His PB for his longbow is 5 yards. So he's going to get a +4 to this attack right off the bat. Do I have that in here somewhere? I'm not sure I do. Range shot, point blank. There it is. And guard 2 gets no defense against this. So Rebel 3's skill is 14 plus 4 is an 18. I think he's going to go for his face. Let's make this nasty. So the target is going to be the face. No, not through the target's helm's eye slits. It's just going to be to the face or to the head, or it could be to the vital organs in the torso at -3. Well, let's see here. I don't think we can do the eye. Can we do the eye? No. At least not that I can see here. Okay, tell you what. He's going to target the vital organs at -3. So he'll be a +1 to hit. I wonder if he can do it. Oh, did I put the -1 for the lighting? Hang on. Got to put a -1 for the lighting. Okay, let's see if he can hit him. Vital organs. And he does. So what's his damage? So he doesn't get an active defense, but I somehow recall that passive defense is always there for you. Would the passive defense possibly defend him? Because it's always there. Let me just double check that ruling. According to the rules, even if you're unconscious, your passive defense still protects you. So a defense roll of 3 or 4 will succeed for you. So we're going to just roll 3 dice, and on a 3 or a 4, that arrow somehow is somehow hit or deflected by the armor. Okay, no, doesn't. Okay, so do your damage. 6. It's the most he can possibly do with the arrow. What does he do? He does 2 points of injury, but he hit the vitals. Let's just go down and see. There's the vitals. Now the injury is 3 points, because still that DR was so amazing. So I'm going to put the 3 there. So what happens to him? Guard 2 is at 1/3 his hit point. So he's down to 1 hit point. So the arrow did do some major damage there, whittling him down from the previous hits. Okay. So so that arrow sinks into his chest. And this guard now, from the 2 previous wounds, he now is feeling this accumulation of his wounds and is sort of staggering. Okay. Guard 1. He's got a move of 4. He's going 1, 2, 3, 4. Guard 3 is going to ready his halberd. Okay. And guard 2 is reeling from his wounds. So his move has been compromised. So his, let's see, half his move and dodge. So his move is normally 3. So he's down to like a move of 2. So he goes, let's see. It's really hard to see those hexes, isn't it? He goes 1, 2, I guess. Yeah. 1, 2, something like that. Rebel 3. He is going to get the hell out of here. So he is going to try to spin around. So he's got a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, according to the scenario, the minute the rebel flees the map, the combat is over, and the guards won't give chase. That's the end of the scenario. So the guards have won the day. They've protected the treasury, and wow, that was pretty bloody combat, to say the least. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed it, and I thank you for watching.